Hey, welcome to the channel. I'm Tim. If you're brand new here, I upload running videos every week, so you'll want to subscribe to the channel and click on the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time that I do. This video is week 8 of a 13-week half marathon training program where we're training with Garmin Coach. At the end of the week, I upload the completed workouts for that particular week, and I go through them each one at a time in some detail so that you can follow along and train for your own half marathon. Having said that, let's get right to it. So on screen now, you'll see all of the different workouts for week number 8. It started with an easy run on Sunday. Monday, we worked on some speed. We did speed repeats. Tuesday was an easy run. Wednesday, a rest and recovery day. Thursday was another easy run. Friday, a progression run. And then Saturday was a rest and recovery day. So let's back up and take a look at Sunday's easy run. So it started with a 5-minute jog to warm up. And then we ran for 20 minutes at our easy run pace, which ranges between an 8:38 to a 9:38 minute mile, with the option to run an additional 15 minutes at that same pace. And then we ended with a 5-minute jog to cool down. So Monday, we ran some speed work. We did speed repeats. To do this, I went down to my local high school track. As I've said before, I find it a whole lot easier. I don't have to contend with pedestrians or traffic, cars, all that kind of good stuff that could get in the way. So we started with a 50-minute jog to warm up, and then we ran hard for 4 minutes. Now, we tried to keep our pace between a 6:28 and a 6:48 minute mile, and we had 3 minutes to recover, and then we ran hard again for another 4 minutes at that same pace. We repeated that 4 different times, and then once we ended that sequence, we went right into sequence number 2. And again, we ran hard, this time for 30 seconds, trying to keep our pace between a 5:28 and 5:48 minute mile, so a little bit quicker. And then we had a minute to recover, and then we ran hard again for another 30 seconds at that same pace. And we repeated that for 5 different times. And we ended with a 15-minute jog to cool down. So Tuesday and Thursday, we basically repeated Sunday's easy run workout. We had a rest and recovery day on Wednesday in between those 2 runs. But just as a reminder, we started with a 5-minute jog to warm up. Then we ran for 20 minutes at an 8:38 to 9:38 minute mile with an option to run an additional 15 minutes at that same pace. And then we had a 5-minute jog to cool down. So that brings us to Friday, our final workout of the week, which was a progression run. So we started with a 5-minute jog to warm up. Then we ran for an hour at our easy run pace that ranges between an 8:38 and a 9:38 minute mile. And then we kicked it up to our goal pace for 10 minutes, which ranges from a 7:28 to a 7:48 minute mile. And then we kicked it up another notch for the last 5 minutes of the run, where we tried to keep our pace between a 6:38 and a 6:58 minute mile. And then we ended with a 5-minute jog to cool down. So let's just take a couple of minutes and I'll share with you how I did on these different workouts. So you'll see up on your screen now Sunday's results. And of course, it starts with that 5-minute jog to warm up. But then you'll see that my pace ranged anywhere from an 8:07 to an 8:38 minute mile for that 35-minute run. And then, of course, I ended with a 5-minute jog to cool down. All in all, including the warm up and the cool down, my overall pace was an 8:37 minute mile. So pretty darn close to what Garmin was calling for and trying to stay at that easy run pace that ranges between an 8:38 and 9:38 minute mile. So let's take a look at Monday's speed work. And again, for this, we ran some speed repeats, and I went down to my local high school track to do this. And you'll see my results up on the screen now. And for that first 4-minute segment of the speed repeats, Garmin was calling for a 6:28 to 6:48 minute mile. And for the most part, I was pretty dialed into that. I was really happy with that first set of speed repeats. The second set of speed repeats that we ran, I wasn't quite as dialed in as I had hoped to be. And you'll see those highlighted with the pink arrows. And basically, I was all over the map. So I started out, I was running a little too slow, and then I ran too fast, and then I ran too slow. Finally, I hit the pace range that they were calling for, and then I ended just a little bit too fast. But overall, I felt like I had a really solid workout and was by far the most challenging of the workouts for this week. But I was happy overall, like I said, with the results. So let's take a look now at Tuesday and Thursday's easy runs. So you'll see the Tuesday results up on the screen now. And for the most part, I was pretty well on pace with what Garmin was calling for. You'll see there at the bottom where it has my overall pace at 8:28 minute mile. And of course, Garmin asks you to be between an 8:38 and a 9:38 minute mile. But when you include both the warm up and the cool down, I was pretty much right in the ballpark of where I needed to be. And then with that rest day on Wednesday, that really did play a factor in how I did on Thursday. Thursday I ran a little faster than I did on Tuesday, but it didn't feel any harder. So that just goes to show you that, given a little bit of time to recover is probably a really good thing when it comes to following these Garmin workouts. So that brings us to Friday, the last workout of the week, which was a progression run. It was a lot of fun, except I did get rained on. It started with an hour at our easy run pace between 8:38 and 9:38 minute mile. You'll see my results, of course, up on screen now. And I highlighted my pace range during that first hour that was between an 8:13 minute mile and then all the way to an 8:39 minute mile. But overall, I felt pretty good about that. And then for the 10 minutes that we kicked it up to our goal pace, I was right in the ballpark. So I was really happy with that. And then that last 5 minutes where we needed to kick it up between a 6:38 and 6:58 minute mile, I ran just a slightly faster than what they were calling for, but pretty much right on the nose. It was a 6:37 minute mile average. And of course, we ended with a 5-minute jog to cool down. Overall, like I said, I was pretty happy with that progression run. The weather was not cooperating as I would want it to. About 10 minutes into the run, I started getting poured on, so that did play somewhat of a factor. But with the heat as it's been, it was a little bit refreshing, but not so comfortable running in wet clothes. So it was kind of a yay-nay thing. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, maybe give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload new content. As always, run tall, run strong, and be kind to one another. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.